I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Gentlemen, any additions or deletions to the agenda?
No, sir.
We'll make a note that we have Delegate McKay here before constituents' comments. So add that to the agenda or make a note of it. Okay, is there a motion to approve the minutes from the last public business meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. We're starting with the public hearing tonight. This is for Code Home Rule Bill 1-18 to amend off-street parking standards for industrial, professional, and institutional buildings. Mr. Jeff Barclay.
Yes, thank you, Commissioners.
Sir, how are you?
It doesn't seem like it's on.
It-
Just yell a lot.
It's just you.
Do we care? We'll go on.
Is it coming on now?
Shed must go on. I don't think so.
That's no. These are on. Yeah, these are on.
Go ahead.
They'll be able to hear me.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioners. I'm standing in for Angie tonight. I know she's the one that's been chaperoning this, this Code Home Rule bill, and it very much affects our industrial, professional, and institutional office buildings, and we had case in point with the building Schroeder's is trying to, in the midst of doing a business expansion, and it's adversely, it would be adversely impacting on their business. It would provide a lot more, or would actually require a lot more parking spaces than what common sense would say they would need.
Right.
So, with that,
Jeff, I do believe they did go through the Department of Planning and Zoning on this, and it's
Yeah,
their
that's correct.
recommendation and all that, so.
absolutely did. And, yeah, Angie, I believe it was back on June 6th, she took this to the Planning Commission, held a public hearing, and no comments were received prior to or during the hearing, and Planning Commission recommended the amendment to the board. And I know Angie then introduced this then the last public meeting, which was on the 21st of June, and that brings us to this evening where we're having the public hearing. And of course, the commissioners, if they choose to do so, can take action and vote on this evening.
The other thing is this, we're actually going back to what the regulation was before.
Right.
When we did the comprehensive rezoning, somebody recommended that we change this. I think they just didn't look at the unintended consequences. When you're talking about a warehouse or whatever, you don't need parking based on square feet. You're not going to have that many employees, and that's the
Okay.
thing here. And so that way we went back to what was there before, and that's why the Planning Commission had no problem with it.
Sure. This is a public hearing. Is there any public comment? All right. Any further discussion, or is there a motion?
So move.
Second?
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Very good.
Go.
Moving on to our action agenda is the Washington Street Library Column Restoration Project. Mr. Kale, we're putting this one to bed. That's right.
It has been a long time.
ridiculous.
A lot of times we award a construction contract that's on the consent agenda, but this one's got a lot of attention for good reason. It's very visible. It's in our library. It's been a problem. Took a lot longer than we thought, but we're there. So we were asking permission to award to American Star Painting Company for $191,469. And actually, the pre-construction meeting is scheduled for Monday, assuming we get permission to award tonight. And we should be finished by end of September.
And Paul, is that just for the columns, or is it kind of the upper piece as well?
Just for the column. What we did, this is going to apply a chemical to strip the paint. It's for all the columns. We're going to go down to bare wood, we're going to replace the pieces that are bad. And then we've applied for a grant this year from Maryland Historical Trust for the windows and the top part.
The upper piece.
So,
Okay.
no, it's just for the columns at this point in time.
How many columns is
I
there?
think there's 8. Right?
Six.
There's 8.
Six.
Wow.
Creed's gonna do the job for half that price, you know that.
Well, I'm not a painter, so.
And actually, if you remember, we pre-qualified.
Right.
There was only 2 firms that had actually built this. We pre-qualified to make sure that they had experience with this type of historical structure, so that's kind of, took a special contract to be able to deal with this type of column.
And this has been going on so long, we put 150,000 aside in fiscal 17, I think, or 16 or 17. So most of the money's already there and been put in the CIP.
3 years later.
Exactly, so maybe we got some interest on that.
Wait,
Yeah, I think everybody's happy to fund every additional money we need for this project to get it moved forward, so.
Right.
if we wait another year, all the paint will just fall off. We won't have to.
That's right, we're getting there.
And in the library system, this is one of the libraries that we as the county government actually own. We own this library, the other one's owned by the library board, so.
All right.
Hoping to get started and get moving.
Well, it took an act of the delegation and signed by the governor to help push this one forward. So I will make the motion, we approve this contract. Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Thanks,
you.
Paul. Okay, moving on to our item number 3. It's the Allegheny County Regulatory Reform Commission. Mr. Butler.
Commissioners, good evening. The item number 3 is providing for the membership of the Regulatory Reform Commission. If you recall, at the last meeting, I had asked by resolution to create this. This is the first of its kind for Allegheny County, and I might say probably first in the state to do so. So we are very proud of that, and I'm very proud to announce and to put forward for your recommendation and your approval the following names of members. Matt Brewer will serve as the professional designer with project management experience. Jeremy Irons serving as a business representative. Donnie Carter for a commercial realtor. Larry Wolf, representative of the union or trades organization. Steve Langen as a representative of the Home Builders Association of Western Maryland. Steve Jenkins as serving as a member of the public at large, and Danny Malamas also serving as a public at large. Those positions were defined by the resolution that you all had previously approved at the last meeting. Also, I am asking for your approval of Mr. Brewer and Mr. Irons to serve as co-chairs of that Regulatory Reform Commission. Commissioners, as you know, this is an effort that we want some professionals who are in the community to take a look at our processes as we are coming online with the Department of Planning and Growth. I think this is a good opportunity to take a look at our processes and what we can do better in making some sense out of our processes as it relates to planning, zoning, and the like. So I'm asking for your approval of those members.
That's quite a group, you know, that's people that have skin in the game and that are involved on an everyday basis.
It's a stellar group is what that is. So
Very good.
with that being said, I'll make a motion.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Mr. Butler, do you know the time frame for them delivering a recommendation or report?
By resolution, it will be by one of the meetings in December. So this is a 6-month group, and we're ready to rock and roll.
Wonderful. Okay. Item number 4 is the resolution 18-21. It's the Office of Community Services. Mr. Butler.
So, Commissioners, if you recall back whenever I presented the Department of Planning and Growth, I had said that this was one of 2 reforms. This is the other. So the Office of Community Services is a grouping that I'm asking, again, for a reorganization of local government to, again, facilitate the development of opportunities for citizens. As you all know, workforce development remains a vital interest of Allegheny County, and it's time, in my estimation, that the county takes a more active role in workforce development. And so what this grouping will do is to provide some strategic, we'll be working on some strategic projects under my supervision. I am looking to hire 3 individuals, one of them being a grant writer, because I truly believe we have some resources that are going untapped, that we can utilize some federal and state funding, but we just don't have the manpower, the bandwidth to really go after those grants. So this resolution will again reorganize government by creating the Office of Community Services, and we're looking forward to get starting on that as well.
And cost-wise, we've had some savings with or switches that we've made.
We have,
Planning.
and thank you for pointing that out, Commissioner Shade. I think that's a key too, is that we've had realized some savings as we are currently reorganizing. And so, we've had some positions that have gone unfilled that have been budgeted for. So this is really, utilizing some of those savings, as well as, quite frankly, a grant writer worth their weight will absolutely pay in dividends. So I think that is an opportunity that we need to take, and I'm asking for your consideration.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I'll make a motion, we accept this.
Is there a
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. Item number 5 is the Allegheny County Economic Development Strategic Plan. Mr. Jeff Barclay.
Yes, thank you again, Commissioners. For some, this is something that's been a long time coming, and I'm pleased to say that with our request for proposals effort, we were able to get 11 quality proposals in, many from nationally recognized firms, so we were very happy about that. We did establish a review committee, and the review committee overwhelmingly, we conducted phone interviews with the top 4 out of the 11, and then overwhelmingly the review committee recommended the services of Thomas P. Miller and Associates. It's a firm from Indianapolis, Indiana, and it's for $121,000. We were able to, one thing that this firm kind of, why they stood out was they recommended the housing study component as part of this, and we were able to negotiate them to kind of hold the line on the figure and kind of give us that as a value add to this project. So with that, we're looking for the commissioners to, subject to approval of the final contract, we're looking for the commissioners to approve this award and to allow us to issue a notice to proceed when we get that contract finalized.
Great. Thanks, Jeff. And I think the other important thing to remember is this is a very detailed plan that they will produce, custom-made for Allegheny County. And was it December or January they were looking to complete this?
Yeah, well, it's a 6-month process again,
Right.
but since we're probably going to not get started until the August, it's going to kind of bleed over into the January, February timeframe.
Yeah, and Commissioners, if I may add, this is being paid for from the economic development funds that are earmarked. This is also something that Thomas P. Miller and Associates really are the gold standard whenever it comes to economic and workforce development. They are a nationally recognized, they have a number of experts. But as much as a study is a study, and we'll sit on, if you don't put it into action, it sits on the shelf. I think this is an opportunity for us also to organize the 13 entities that are out there right now doing economic development in Allegheny County. This is a way that we can really pull everybody together under a common theme, common brand, common vision that I think is something that is is sorely needed. And I wanted to commend Jeff and his team for this process.
Plus with the Route 68 study, information back now, with the, waiting for the RFPs for the Cumberland Chase project, and with some of these new department realignments, we've got the people in place we need to move forward on this. We've got the information from the other studies, so now's the time.
Absolutely, and I think that's an important point, is this isn't just another study, this is a plan that'll be used to guide economic development, hopefully for the next 5 to 7 years.
Is that a motion, sir?
I'll make the motion, we accept Thomas P. Miller's contract.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Okay, on that note, item number 6 is Business Attraction Services Contract. Mr. Barclay.
Yes, thank you. And kind of echoed what Commissioner Valentine just said, kind of getting all these pieces together. Again, since the end of June here, the June 28th was when the I-68 targeted industry study was completed. We're probably going to try to get that put on the website too, so folks can see what that actually, what that does. And then again, with item number 5 being approved now and kind of working towards strategic efforts, the business attraction side of things, just this with the way staffing is right now with our department, we're seeing the need to get help in this regard. So this is an opportunity for us. Greenwill Consulting Group is already a company that we're very familiar with, and we already, our department already has this group under contract to represent us in Annapolis and do other things, and this just represents another opportunity for them to represent us in some various trade shows, various key trade shows, to take the collateral that we're going to be developing for marketing to these targeted industries that we have developed and what we're going to continue to develop over the next 6 months.
And if I'm not mistaken, that figure includes all of their travel and such. That's all inclusive. And so some background on this was, we need someone or some group to do more outreach and promotion for Allegheny County on economic development. And I think this is a lot more feasible, at least to try for a year, rather than try to hire someone and get them here and get them trained and send them with a big travel budget around to these events. And
Yeah, I would echo that.
Plus Greenwill's been doing this for us for a couple years at a much lower level, really hasn't been compensated the way they should have for their efforts, so it's a good move.
great. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. Mr. Butler.
Commissioners, we have 4 items on the consent agenda. Item number 7 is a pipe hunter sewer jetter purchase. Say that 5 times fast. Item number 8 is 2 new pickup trucks for the roads division. Item number 9 is a property and liability insurance renewal with Travelers Insurance. And item number 10 are 2 community promotions items. One to to Miss Allegheny County, and the other to a Leadership Maryland upcoming class session into Western Maryland.
Any discussion?
Yes, sir. Gentlemen, if we can, for tonight, for purposes, I'd like to pull item 7 and table it till I do a little speaking, a little bit behind the scenes talking on this, because as in the past, anything that's been major has been purchased by the county in our prospective areas. It's been run by us, and I was unaware that this was even going to be on there tonight, so I would like to have some time to reach out to the field personnel to make sure this is what they want, such as the roads pickup trucks. I have had discussion with such, but this one not, so
Okay,
if we can.
There's a motion to table. Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Okay, that'll be tabled to a future meeting. Is there a motion to accept items 8, 9, and 10?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Butler.
Commissioners, just one quick thing, because at the last meeting, I introduced Sam Vega, one of our Commissioners Fellowship. Sam is here again tonight, but joining her is also Carter Imes, who is also spending the summer with us. And I can't say enough about how great these two young people from Alleghany College and Frostburg State are doing. So thank you very much.
Great. Mr. Rudd.
I have nothing.
Commissioner Valentine.
Just real quick, attended some MACO meetings yesterday in Annapolis, and the executive director and the president of MACO will be here, I believe it's next week, to have lunch with the county leadership. And then tomorrow, I'll be back in Annapolis for Kerwin Commission. That's something county's really going to have to keep an eye on, some of those proposals. I mean, it's very expensive proposals coming forward.
Great. Mr. Brody.
Yes, I'll keep it very brief tonight because I believe tomorrow kicks off our fair. That's something that's very big and we're very proud of here in Alleghany County. So if everybody gets a chance, please come out. Our fair manager, Kevin, has got a fantastic lineup across the board, from the tractor pulls to the group singing. So Paul will be living out there, I'm sure, for the next week also. So just a personal invite for everyone to come out.
When's the weigh-in?
The weigh-in is actually tomorrow morning.
Okay. All right.
They have a
Jake's
bad.
gonna win that this year.
And Danny, before I forget, in case I don't, thank you and your guys, the fire police, because you will be out there nonstop from start to finish. So make sure you pass that along to everybody.
I certainly will. When we leave here, we're going to, our meeting is tonight, and to get, finalize all our stuff for there. We'll be there from morning to afternoon to about 12 every day.
Thank you. Thank your guys, too.
All right. With that, I'll just add, it seemed like our meeting tonight, we cleaned up a lot of things that have been lingering for a long time. The Washington Street columns, the strategic plan, the Greenwell Consultant expanded services. I hope that Cumberland can reach a deal with CSX here in the next couple months, and we're going to continue to support them. We haven't been directly involved in those discussions, but obviously we're going to support whatever they come up with and get those bridges reopened. So that continues to be a priority. With that, we have Delegate Mike McKay, or should we say former commissioner in this room?
Actually, Brandon forgot to say that I applied for the summer internship. And he and I have come up with this great big plan here. It's just a small 100-page document that we're... I'm serious, great?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Now, gentlemen, every year that
Thank you,
I
Mike.
have been a delegate down in the General Assembly representing District 1C, we have produced a 90-day report. Now that the 2018 session of the Maryland General Assembly is passed, I wanted to share with you, the elected officials, a report from one of your legislators representing the city of Cumberland, the people of Alleghany County, and those within District 1C. The Department of Legislative Services each year creates a 90-day report. It is a review of the legislation session for the President, Senate, the Honorable Mike Miller, Speaker of the House, the Honorable Mike Bush, and members of the General Assembly. But you, the elected body, and the residents of District 1C are just as equally important to me. So I've created this 90-day report that it contains the status of every legislation of the 105 bills that either were sponsored or co-sponsored by myself as one of your representatives in Annapolis. Each week, I post my votes from the floor to include every third reader taken by me. The third reader is the final vote on a particular bill. We took about 400 of those. My goal is to encourage participation in open and transparent government and be accountable by posting all of this on social media in real time, and then to present to every town, municipality, both boards of county commissioners, my report card to you. I hope that this will encourage others to follow my lead to engage in the conversation, continue and weigh into all matters of District 1C in the state of Maryland. I look forward to having many conversations with you as we prepare for the 2019 session in Annapolis, with one caveat: if I am elected in November. Gentlemen, if there's any questions that you may have, please, I'll be glad to answer any of those. Like I said, that's every single bill that passed in the General Assembly, how it passed, and where Delegate McKay actually voted. And again, this is my 4th year in a row doing this, to report card to give to you exactly what your representation in Annapolis is doing. So without that, unless you have any other questions, next meeting I'll be bringing a 10-question pop quiz. And I'm hoping that you will, you guys get A's and stars already. So that's
Creed's going to take it for all 3 of us, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
As much as I talk to Commissioner Brody, it's a shoe-in. So that's, he knows the answers.
And Mike, Delegate, on a serious note, we do want to thank you on behalf, because this is very informative to us. And anytime you're in Annapolis in session, I will give you this. You keep us informed, if not daily, at least weekly, on what's going on and what we should keep our eyes on. So thank you, sir.
Well, it's one great big team. We're one great big family. We need to watch out for each other. There's this funny thing called the state of Maryland.
Yeah.
And boy, do they like to give it to local governments and
Rural.
counties.
Yeah.
And look what we've opened for you. It's Christmas. But
Yeah.
price tag, the financial price tag that normally comes. The only other thing that I have is the Annapolis report that is from the delegation. So I'll have these to give out, and then give out to anybody in the audience that still want one. So, all right.
Very
thank you
well. Heather
much.
won.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Delegate. All right. Our next public business meeting will be Thursday, July 26th. We do have one person signed up to speak tonight, Miss Jackie Sams. Welcome. There's our guy.
Jackie Sams, 701 Unicorn Company. I wanted to ask a little bit about the new Office of Community Services. And just by way of background, I started coming to meetings here in 1996. We were doing a study on county government with League of Women Voters and looking at all of the departments and what they did and the kinds of people that filled positions and that kind of thing. So this would, and amazingly, there hasn't been a whole lot that's changed in departments. There's been a little shuffling around, but we don't usually have a new department. So I wondered if you could tell me, what do you see that department doing?
So, thank you. I think that the department, or the office itself, it's not a department. It's, if you look on the org chart, it'll be right under my supervision. Quite frankly, we had, it's funny you should say that we had, not much has changed in local government. I think if you look at the past election, I think if you look at when I've convened groups talking about what is affecting the community, they keep coming back to a couple things: jobs, economic development, and getting people into those jobs. I think we have, just like economic development, we have a number of entities going around the community right now, that say that they're doing economic development. Same thing with workforce development. I think this will allow us as a county to be more proactive in providing opportunities for citizens, to pointing them in the right direction, to being that ear between businesses and tying that to the skills that are being taught at Frostburg and in Allegheny College of Maryland. I think that is going to be one of the focuses here, as well as providing grant opportunities, or grant writer. That apparently was a position that was held a long time ago in county government, and quite frankly, I think it's it's lacking. I just had a conversation with the sheriff the other day that he said, oh, I got this grant, but I don't know where, I don't have anybody to write it for me. And so we're missing opportunities to provide, to get federal and state funding into this county, that, although we're very appreciative of the efforts of the delegation, I think there are other grants throughout the year that we can utilize that we just haven't swung at the pitch. So I think that is going to be another, so really, it's a small office. It's a little bit of an experiment, but I think it's something that goes back to what I've constantly said going in, that we're going to try new things, and I think this is one of them.
Okay, so you mentioned 3 people, you probably the staff. What kind of background or skills will they have? Or are they already here?
No, I think this is going to be, we're going to try for an outward posting. But honestly, I haven't talked to Mr. Westfall to make that happen yet. But I think this is going to be a lean office, and I think all 3 positions are going to have to be varying. So number one, well, first of all, a grant writer, you're going to have a grants experience. If workforce development, I'm going to look for somebody that has the experience in that. And then, a supervisor for it, it's going to be a little bit of a generalist and probably both.
So would it be the kind of thing that you were working with the state? Is it tangential to that?
Yeah, it is. I mean, because, Jackie, I think the thing is that, we have an opportunity to be a lot more proactive than we are. And I think that's where we're headed. Sometimes we have limited government, and sometimes we have anemic government. Anemic government says, oh, we don't do that, we don't do that, we don't do that. I think here is an opportunity to provide a table for discussions, meaningful discussions, as it relates to workforce development, and then get the money in the door.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, with that, our next public business meeting will be Thursday, July 26th, 5 o'clock in this room. Have a good day.
Thank you.
There we go.